Hey there, YouTube land. Big Dave here. So today I was outside in the truck, in the garage, and all that stuff, and I started to bring in a few things to look at over the winter, clean up some reels, all that kind of good stuff. So I decided I'm going to make a quick video and show you what I'm up to before I get started. So here's two reels I use a lot outside. For my fishing, which is mostly freshwater. And this is an older Penn 420 SSG, which means part of this is made of graphite, and the rest of it is metal or brass or what have you. And this reel's been around for a while. I don't know how long it is. Maybe 10 years. And I'll tell you what I like about this reel is that it has a really good pickup mechanism. The winding and everything on this. It picks up line quickly, but I'll tell you what I don't like. And I don't really like the way this thing casts if you're throwing lures, because the spool is small, and the way this lip is, it tends to kind of tangle up a little bit, and you get knots and things like that. So if I'm throwing out some bait and I'm not going to be going back and forth a whole bunch of times, it's great. And it casts pretty far, and it's nice and smooth. Works a little better with mono than it does with braid. I mean, it was originally designed for mono, but this is just 20-pound braid, and it can handle a pretty good size carp or catfish or whatever, no problem. But that's the goods and the bads. But see how smooth it is. And this actually all broke out because it had an accident, and I wanted to kind of preserve it, so I sent it back to Penn a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, and they rebuilt it for me, put new gears and all new stuff in. So this is, it works great. But again, this is my issue with this, is it kind of spiders up here and there because the spool is small. And I mean, most of the time when you use a small spool like that, you tend to get those wind knots or tangles in there because the spirals are small. And what I'm going to do with this is I'll take this reel off, this spool, and I'll clean up the shaft, just put a couple drops of machine oil in there, and then I'll take these off so I can get to the bearings. Take the handle off, and I'll put a couple drops of machine oil in there, put it back together. That's it. I'm not going into the gear train or anything. This was not in any salt, and it's absolutely smooth. So we're just going to leave it alone. This has no reverse switch, so it just has the anti-reverse bearing. So wherever you stop, that's it. If you want to make an adjustment, you have to do it with here. The drag works pretty well on here. They put new washers and stuff in the drag, and adjusted it before I got it back. And, so it's been a workhorse because, like I said, I already used this for a number of years, and then it had a big accident and broke, and I sent it because I decided I didn't want to throw it out. And they do make a new one, but it's not really like this. It's different. Okay, so my other one that I use a lot is this. This is a Model 3000, and it's a Battle 2. Now, this has a little bit bigger spool, and I have the same braid on here, 20-pound braid. At the moment, because I had to cut some braid off of here, I just filled the top with 8-pound mono that's been on there for a while. So that's what's on top of the braid. This is going to get all new line before the season. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this line off, get down to the underline, which is, I think, 10-pound mono, which I keep underneath this. And then I have braid on top of that. And right now I have about, I don't know, 20 yards maybe of 8-pound mono on the top of this. I have terrible congestion. There's all this stuff going around, so don't mind me. It's just going around, and everybody has it. But this reel, all I can say about this reel is it's super smooth. The gearing mechanism on here and everything is it's just like silk. It's smooth. I like the drag on this. It's very sensitive. You can just turn it a little bit and make subtle changes in it. This is that what they call the HT100 drag. You know, I have nothing to do with Penn, you know, but if I can use the Penn spinning reels, I prefer them over some of the other ones. I've had other ones, different kinds, and I just prefer these. You know, I have all the bigger Penn reels, the 4,000, 5,000. I have older ones, newer ones, and you know, they kind of just have held up okay for me, and I'm not looking to switch to a bunch of stuff. And if this works for me, it's good, right? So, and you might have something you like, and you stay with it because it's dependable. It does what you want it to do. Again, this didn't get any salt water, so I'm not going to take this gearbox apart, but I am going to take this off and clean the shaft and put some fresh machine oil in there. I'll take the handles off, do the same thing with the bearings, and then I'm going to change the line out. I may only take like half of this line off and just see what's underneath, and if there's enough underneath that's good, then I'll just put new braid on top of that for the distances I work. Now, another thing too is this has a little bit bigger spool, right? So this casts further than the other reel, and it's much less susceptible to the tangles and knots, wind knots, all that. This maybe also because the lip is thinner on this, and the way the line, this is made for braid, and the way it comes off, it just, you know, it's just a little better operation than this one. This has that big heavy lip, and it's a different shape, and it's a smaller diameter, so that, you know, the when it comes off, the coils are a lot smaller and more susceptible to the knots and the tangles and all that bit. So that's what I'm up to. And I also had somebody ask me about, you know, I just noticed this. I'm just using this desk up here. If I bang on it, it makes me vibrate, right? So, because I'm up in my office. So anyway, I had somebody wrote about the Zepco 33s, and if I could make some videos about that, and the 404, and I will. I'm going to get the 33s, the older ones and the newer ones and the middle ones, and just maybe I'll have like 10 of them. And we'll just look at them really quick, look at the gears, I'll pop the backs off, and we'll do them all in a row or something like that. So anyway, Happy New Year, and have good health in 220, better health than I'm having right now, right? All right, so thank you for subscribing and following along and all that. And as soon as the spring hits, I have, I'm looking to get a, you know, GoPro, and I want to try making a few videos in the field. But like I said once before, that's not really the aim of this channel. There are so many outdoor fishing channels, and they're outside doing that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm more, you know, doing other stuff. And we'll take some reels apart, and we'll do some of that stuff and get onto some like topics. But right now, this was a topic: spool size. You know, if you have a small spool, the coil that comes off it is small. You have a little more trouble sometimes with that than when you have the next bigger size. This is smoother, and the coil is bigger. So when it comes off, and the design of the front. So, you know, that was kind of our little topic, what I'm going to do with these and the spool size. All right, have a good time. And you know, hopefully the winter won't be too nasty to you, because we already had some snow and stuff here. All right, have a good day.